Looking for welder fabber. Fab these controller mounts back on.
Yeah, get it.
First one to go down forward. Headlights first.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. So today's gonna be pretty fun. We're gonna be ripping the rear differential out of that lifted RS. We got a Gambler to go to at the beginning of September, and I'm actually gonna pull the 444 R160 rear differential out of this car and send it back to Colorado with a friend of mine. He's gonna take it to ZF Designs. You know Zach and ZFD by what they do with Emilio's car, Boosted Boys. He's got a bunch of track cars. He's got all sorts of fast road race cars, fast drag cars, so on and so forth. Anyways, I'm entrusting him with the installation of this bad boy. If you remember back to the Wicked Big Meat video a couple years ago, I interviewed Cora, who's the owner of Torque Master Industries, and they were working on making a locker for the R160 differentials for Subaru. Well, it's done. They made them. Before we get too far. Oh, look at that. Cool. And we're done. Just kidding. So, these things are pretty cool. Good presentation. These are the springs. I'll show you where those go in a second. And we have these two components. That's the very center. And then we have the outer components here. So this is the actual ratcheting mechanism. So that's what skips and allows the wheel to turn just like any other differential. And then, of course, this is the locking portion. The pins will go in here just like they are from the factory, the spider gear pins. So this will actually be spaced out just slightly like that. And then these little springs go in this detent here. So when this is all together, it's kind of hard to do, but this center will be spring loaded and kind of float. And so there'll be tension keeping this locked. And when that tension is too great, it'll skip. So that's what allows this to be a differential while also being locked up. So you can still turn in a parking lot. It sounds like death because obviously you have this metal noise, but whatever. And then the rest of it's going to be locked up the rest of the time. Pretty cool, right? I really like it. All right, got the car all lifted up. Didn't really need to, but gives me some room to work. These are pretty easy to remove, to be totally honest. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this skid plate off, this retention plate. This is here so that in case your U-joint, when your U-joint fails, the shaft doesn't swing around and hit the gas tank and cause a big old fire. So some guys take these off. I wouldn't take this off on an all-wheel drive car. I wouldn't take it off on a Subaru, period. I mean, maybe if it's a track car and you don't need it, but I don't know, it's there for a reason. So anyways, these are just some 14 mil bolts. We'll take those off. These 14 mil bolts on the side just attached to this plate, and then there's 17s. These 17s are captive on the top side. You'll see there's like a plate thing. Drain the fluid out, pop the axles, get the two 17 mil nuts off the back, get the V-band undone so we can get the back half of the exhaust off and out of the way. That'll be pretty easy. And then that's pretty much it. This whole thing's gonna come down, and then we're gonna take the axles out one at a time, go left, right, and then I'm just gonna zip tie the axles back up. Since the car's only going back about 6 feet, I'm not gonna be driving it. I don't need to do anything more than that. It's not gonna tear it up. Anyways, enough talking. Let's start taking some parts off. That doesn't take any time at all. I think real time, that took probably about 20 minutes. So rear differential's out. Got the axles just zip tied in here. Exhaust is just doing its thing. This will be fine just to pull it back. Obviously, you don't want to drive a car in this condition. I'm going to put the front wheel drive fuse back in just because I don't want that prop shaft swinging around when I back up. But I'm going to pull this thing forward and get it off the stands here and put it back in our parking place. And that's pretty much it. Just like that, the car is back where it belongs and the rear differential is out. Got it up here on the bench, just draining the last little bit of fluid out of it. I'll go ahead and plug this up for the return trip to Colorado. Zach can go ahead and install the lockers for us. If you're wondering why I'm not installing the locker, it actually won't go in this housing. These are not compatible with viscous LSD differential housings. Not this housing, the housing that's actually inside here. So, but it's got 444s and those are decently hard to find. So I got the 444 gears. I got the housing / carrier. Zach's got the internal differential housing, new seals, hot tank, expertise, blah, blah. He's going to put all that stuff in. We're actually going to do two 444s, one for my car, one for John's. The next time we see that lifted RS, we'll be finishing up the fenders and the rear quarter panels. After that, we'll get the rear differential put back in and button up some stuff. Got a transmission cooler and some other little odds and ends that we wanted to do last year. Got a spare tire. Got to figure out where to put that. Just bolt it to the roof, put it in the passenger seat. I don't know. Figure that out when the time comes. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for hanging out.